Most people think that millionaires are born into wealth, drive Ferraris and wear Rolexes. That's what Hollywood sells you. But the data tells a completely different story. A massive study of over 10,000 millionaires found that 89% of them were first generation. They did not inherit a single dollar. They didn't win the lottery. They didn't get lucky in crypto. They built their wealth through a set of boring, repeatable daily habits that anyone, and I mean anyone, can copy. And if you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those 7 habits are, why they work, and how you can start using them today to transform your financial future. If you stay until the end of this video, you will learn the 7 specific things that rich people do every single day that poor people don't. I'll show you the surprising professions that produce the most millionaires, the car buying habit that separates the wealthy from the wannabes, and the one habit that 90% of millionaires share. You'll get actionable steps you can implement immediately, starting today. My name is your name, and today we are going to dismantle the myth of overnight success and replace it with the quiet, powerful habits that actually build wealth. Let me start by blowing up your stereotype of a millionaire. Close your eyes. What do you see? A hedge fund manager in a penthouse? A tech bro in a Tesla? According to the largest study of millionaires ever conducted, the reality is far more ordinary. Teachers rank among the top 5 occupations that produce millionaires. Engineers, accountants, and managers round out the list. These are people with steady paychecks, not lottery tickets. They are the millionaires next door, living in modest homes, driving used cars, and flying under the radar. In fact, 93% of them use coupons, and 94% live on less than they make. They aren't trying to look rich. They are actually building wealth. So, what are the 7 habits that separate these quiet millionaires from everyone else? Let's dive in. Habit number 1. They live well below their means. This is the number 1 non-negotiable habit. If you spend everything you make, you will never build wealth, no matter how high your salary. The typical millionaire in the famous study had never spent more than $41,000 on a car. Think about that. These are people with net worths in the millions, and they are buying used Toyotas and Hondas. They understand that wealth is what you accumulate, not what you spend. Wealth is what you accumulate, not what you spend. This is the mantra of the quiet millionaire. They don't buy a bigger house when they get a raise. They don't lease a luxury car to impress their neighbors. They live on a budget, not because they have to, but because it's the most effective wealth-building tool ever created. How do you do this? Start by tracking your spending. Use an app like YNAB or even a simple spreadsheet. Identify your leaky buckets, those subscription services you never use, the daily coffee runs, the impulse Amazon purchases. Then, make a conscious decision to cut. But here's the key. You don't have to be miserable. You're not eating beans out of a can. You're just making a choice to put your future first. Every time you choose to drive that old car for 1 more year, or cook dinner at home instead of ordering out, you are adding fuel to your financial engine. The wealthy understand that sacrifice today pays for freedom tomorrow. Habit number 2, they are allergic to debt. Debt is the anchor that drags down the middle class. The rich understand that debt is a tool, but consumer debt, credit cards, car loans, expensive financing is a trap. They avoid unnecessary debt like the plague. If they use leverage, it's calculated, often for a business or investment that will generate a return. But you'll never see a quiet millionaire paying 22% interest on a credit card balance for a vacation they couldn't afford. They buy things outright when they can, or they save up first. How to apply this? First, pay off your high-interest debt. Use the debt snowball or avalanche method. Make it your mission to become allergic to the feeling of owing money. If you can't pay cash for a non-essential item, you can't afford it. This shift in mindset, from I can afford the monthly payment to I can afford the total price, is what separates the wealthy from the wage earner. Habit number 3. They choose financial independence over social status. Here's a powerful truth. The people who look rich are often not rich. They are high-income spenders with low net worth. The quiet millionaire is the opposite. They drive the old pickup truck to their modest home. Their neighbor might be leasing a BMW they can't afford, but the millionaire is quietly investing that $800 car payment into a portfolio that will pay off for decades. They care more about their net worth statement than their Instagram feed. You can do this by asking yourself one question before every major purchase. Is this purchase bringing me closer to financial independence, or is it pulling me further away? That new car feels good for a month, but financial freedom feels good forever. The quiet millionaire has learned to ignore the pressure to keep up with the Joneses because they know the Joneses are broke. They are playing a different game, and the prize is not a luxury watch. The prize is time to spend with family, to pursue passions, to work because you want to, not because you have to. Asterisk habit number 4. They are disciplined savers and investors. This is the engine room of wealth. You can't build wealth without a high savings rate. The data is clear. People who accumulate wealth save a high percentage of their income, often 20% or more. They don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left. They pay themselves first. They maximize their 401(k) contributions, they fully fund their Roth IRAs, and they invest the rest in low-cost index funds. They understand that the magic of compound interest works best when you feed it consistently. How do you do this? Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account on payday. If you never see the money, you never miss it. And don't fall for the "I'll save when I make more money" trap. Lifestyle inflation eats up raises faster than you can blink. Instead, save half of every raise you get. You won't miss it, and your future self will thank you. Habit number 5. They are intentional with their time and energy. The study of millionaires found that they allocate their time and energy efficiently, in ways conducive to building wealth. That means they spend less time on mindless entertainment and more time planning their finances, learning new skills, and building their careers. They aren't scrolling social media for 3 hours a night. They are reading, researching, and thinking. You can adopt this by auditing your time. Track how you spend your evenings and weekends. Then replace 1 hour of TV or social media with financial education. Read a chapter of a personal finance book, listen to a podcast, or research a side hustle. Over a year, that 1 hour a day adds up to 365 hours of compound learning. That's the equivalent of a college semester. The wealthy understand that time is the most valuable asset you have, and they invest it just as carefully as they invest their money. Habit number 6. They practice continuous learning. This is the habit that 90% of millionaires share. They are lifelong learners. They read, not fiction but non-fiction about their industry, investing, and history. Warren Buffett spends 5 to 6 hours a day reading. Bill Gates reads about 50 books a year. They understand that knowledge compounds, just like money. In a world that changes rapidly, the ability to adapt and learn is the ultimate competitive advantage. Here's your action step. Read 1 personal finance or business book per month. That's 12 books a year. At that rate, in 5 years, you'll have read 60 books. That will put you in the top percentile of knowledge in the country. You can start with The Millionaire Next Door itself, or The Simple Path to Wealth. The point is to start. Don't wait for the perfect time. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Habit number 7. They choose the right occupation, and they stick with it. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need to be a CEO to become a millionaire. In fact, only 15% of millionaires were ever in a senior leadership role like CEO or CFO. The top careers for millionaires include engineer, accountant, teacher, manager, and small business owner. These aren't necessarily the highest paying jobs, but they are stable and they offer opportunities for advancement and self-employment. The key is to find a field you can excel in, where you can move up and eventually perhaps go out on your own. But you don't have to be an entrepreneur to get rich. Many millionaires simply worked for a steady paycheck, lived frugally, and invested consistently for 30 years. So if you are in a job that has a future, stick with it. Get good at it. Get certified. Get promoted. Don't job hop every year chasing a small raise. The wealth comes from the consistency of the savings and the length of time you are in the market. A steady 30-year career with an average salary can still make you a millionaire if you follow the other 6 habits. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, I make $40 zeros in a year. I can't save 20%. I can't become a millionaire. I get it. The math is harder at lower incomes, but the principles are the same. You must focus on the 2 levers. Increase your income and decrease your expenses. Could you move to a cheaper apartment? Get a roommate? Take a second job or start a side hustle for just 1 year to build a cash buffer. Could you get a certification that leads to a $10,000 raise? The habits of the millionaire are not about the size of your paycheck. They are about the size of your discipline. If you can save 10% on a $40,000 salary, it might take you 40 years to reach $1 million. But if you can invest in yourself to get that salary to $60,000 and still live on $36,000, you will get there much, much faster. Let me give you a rapid-fire summary of the habits. 1. Live well below your means. 2. Avoid debt like the plague. 3. Choose freedom over status. 4. Save and invest aggressively. 5. Use your time wisely. 6. Never stop learning. 7. Master your craft. These are not secrets, they are choices. Here is your action plan for today. Pick just one of these habits and start. Don't try to do all 7 at once. If you have credit card debt, that's your priority. Habit number 2. If you have no debt but no savings, focus on habit number 4. Set up that automatic transfer right now. Open your banking app and set a recurring transfer to a savings or investment account. Even if it's $20 a week, it's a start. You are building the muscle. Second, comment below with the one habit you are committing to. I'm committing to reading 1 finance book per month. What about you? I'll reply to the first 100 comments. If this video changed your perspective on what it takes to be rich, hit that like button. It helps others realize that they can do it too. Subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to automate your finances in 1 hour. Never pay a late fee or miss an investment again. The rich don't have a secret bank account the rest of us can't access. They have a set of habits that anyone can adopt. The question is not whether you can do it. The question is whether you will. Start today. I'll see you in the next video.